What's up, everybody? Eric Winkler here with Rent to Retirement. I'm here to talk to you today about the 10-step process to acquiring a turnkey property through Rent to Retirement. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can get more of these video updates and more education and information. And also, please give us a like. So you want to buy a rental property, specifically through Rent to Retirement in the turnkey space of real estate. We can actually break this down to a 10-step process. Every day we get asked, how do I get a property through you guys? What's it like? What's the sales process like? Step one, we always like to start everything with an initial conversation over the phone so that we can get an idea of your investment background, your goals, what you're trying to accomplish with real estate investing, and then obviously introduce you to all the different offerings that Rent to Retirement has. As a turnkey provider, we do have everything from single family, multifamily, new construction, and commercial offerings, and it's really just about pairing the investor with their goals, and together we can come up with a better game plan and a strategy moving forward. Step two would be getting you a lender introduction. It's another conversation altogether, and again, why you'd want to have an initial consultation, because we have a large network of lenders nationwide. Everything from conventional to unconventional financing. So I mean your conventional mortgages, asset-based lenders, non-recourse lenders, commercial lenders, private money lenders. I could keep going here. Whatever your financing needs may be, our job is to talk to you, figure out what your financial needs are, and pair you with the best solution. Step three, you are getting a pre-approval from one of these lenders. Once you have a pre-approval from the lender that you want to work with, you send your representative a copy of that. And at that point, what we're going to be doing is adding you to our priority list. The priority list is going to start sending you emails of inventory updates daily. That way there you can stay on top of things. You should always still be viewing the inventory on a regular basis. My ninja tip to my investors is always take a look at it at least 3 times a day. Once when you're waking up, once sometime in the middle of the day, maybe on your lunch break or whatever, and then once towards the end of the day or when you're winding down, going to bed. I really like the early and late options because that's where you're going to find some inventory options that haven't made it to the hot list yet. And that's where you can find some pretty cool deals. Because as you already know, the ones with the highest ROIs or the most attractive deals out there don't last long. And once you've got the pre-approval, you've sent it back over to us, now we're going to schedule more of a strategy planning session. And what that means is we'll get back on the phone at that point, and now it's going to be more asking questions. Have you set a passive income goal for yourself? What does that number look like? What is the time frame that you want to accomplish that? What are some of the things that you do like on the inventory list? What are some of the things that you may want to stay away from on the inventory list? There's no right or wrong answers here. It's really just based on what you want to accomplish. And then your representative is going to help guide you based on your answers what the overall game plan is looking like and what markets you should focus on to accommodate what you're looking for in your portfolio. Step number 4, you go under contract. So that means you have identified the property, you are signing a purchase agreement on a property. I always want to tell folks that, when you're signing the purchase agreement, this is where you are really beginning your due diligence phase. One of the things that people get confused by or maybe concerned with is due diligence. Oftentimes, you're looking at a website, you're looking at a pro forma, and maybe some pictures of a house. Sometimes it's just the outside of a house, especially if it's under rehab or there's tenants inside. And oftentimes, people can be a little nervous about that. So what I would tell you is that we definitely want you to do your due diligence. It's just it doesn't always happen in the order that you may want it to. Lots of folks want to get all of the information that they possibly can before they make a decision to move forward. I understand that. But with real estate where it is right now, how competitive the market is and how quickly people grab up properties, by the time you get the answers, someone else may have put that property under contract. So it's not to push you, it's not to pressure you, it's just to educate you that the due diligence process really begins when you go under contract. That's exactly why your contract is contingent upon inspection and appraisal. So what you're basically saying when you're signing that agreement is, yes, you know what, everything looks good, I ran my numbers, this makes sense, I want to add it to my portfolio, as long as the inspection comes back and we can address these items and the appraisal comes in, at the value that we say is going to be. Step number 5 is you've actually signed the contract. It's an easy step. You receive the contract, you sign the contract. Again, the contracts are contingent upon inspection and appraisal. Now we have to wait till we have the all clear from the local team telling us that the property is ready for inspection. And this can vary because as you look at the inventory, you will notice that some properties are tenanted, some properties are going through a rehab right now. So obviously we can't do an inspection while we're doing the rehab. If we have tenants in place, more than likely it's ready for inspection, but we're still gonna have to deal with notifying the tenants, etc. Your responsibility, once you've signed the contract, is we're gonna send you a list of recommendations. So the recommendations are, insurance providers you should be talking to, inspectors that you can reach out to in the area. You're going to contact the inspector, have the inspector coordinate with the local contact, and then it's pretty much hands off for you. So very easy. Pick somebody from the list, have them coordinate with the local team. They'll get in and do the inspection. Step 7, the inspection. I've already done another video on inspections. Feel free to watch that one to really dive into inspections. But the long and short of it is the inspector is going to come in, go through the entire house, and mark anything that needs to be adjusted, fixed, etc. This is a time to take a look at what the inspection says and come up with a list of items that need to be repaired prior to closing. And we can assist you with that as well. In addition to that, I always want to take a quick mention on capital expenditures. So your HVAC, foundation, roof, the big capital expenditures, we're going to ensure that these have 7 to 10 years life left in them, or those are going to be addressed, repaired, replaced, etc. prior to closing as well. Step 8, appraisal. The appraisal is ordered by your lender and the appraiser is picked by your lender. So I don't pick them, you don't pick them, the lender picks the appraiser. You want to order the appraisal right about the same time that you're ordering the inspection. And here's why. Inspectors can get into the property probably within a week. They're pretty quick to get in there and get their job done. However, appraisers, they're taking anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks from what I can see right now. So you don't want to delay on ordering the appraisal. You typically want to do that once you have the green light to order inspection. That's a good time to order the appraisal as well. The appraiser comes in, they go over the property, they take pictures, they take notes, they compare comps, and you get the appraisal report back. So when you've done the inspection, you've done the appraisal, the only other thing that I wanted to bring up was insurance. Your lender is going to require a quote from insurance. So if you remember, after I said you sign the contract, you're gonna get an email that says what happens next. Well, in that what happens next email, there's going to be insurance providers as well. And again, Rent to Retirement, we're here to assist you through this. We're going to give you some updates on how to select the provider, what items you want inside of the insurance quote, what items you may not want in your insurance quote, because obviously we want to have reasonable premiums for reasonable coverage on these rental properties. Now, this doesn't happen often, but when the appraisals come in, one of two things is going to happen. Either one, it's going to be at market value and we can move on to setting a closing date. Or two, again, doesn't happen often, but it does happen. Your appraisal may have come in not at value or undervalue. And of course, at that point, we have some decisions to make. And of course, your representative is going to guide you through the decisions. So I don't want, we can do another video another time on appraisals, but just the short answers here is when you go through the appraisal, if it's at value, fantastic. If it's not at value, then we have some room to negotiate. Number one, you can always back out. You have an appraisal contingency. So that's to protect you and us and the lender and make everybody happy. Number two, appraising, fortunately or unfortunately, it's not a science. There is some subjectivity there. There are a lot of novices in the field that we are finding. So if you get an appraisal that is low, one of the things that we may do is if we have the comps, which we always do, we base our purchase price on the comps that we have. So we feel confident with the comps. If we have the comps to support this sales price, we can contest it, or we can order another appraisal. And that may be the route that we want to go. And then finally, the last option is a negotiation. But again, we'll walk you through these processes. You're not stuck doing these things by yourself. We're done with the appraisal. Now we are set to close. So this is where you're setting a closing date with the bank. You're going to be arranging things like mobile notary, etc. If you're overseas, then we're going to be doing things like having a power of attorney and making sure that they know that they're going to be available for closing and signing of documents, mobile notary, notary, etc. But your lender, myself, everybody will walk you through what is going to happen at the closing table. But typically it's signing. We want to make sure you have your final disclosures so you know what money you're bringing to close, so that everything is a very nice, smooth transition. So step 10 is you actually closed on the property. So congratulations. You made it through the 10 steps. You've closed on the property, and now you have rental income coming into your account. You now have a property that has been fully rehabbed and or repaired, or potentially newly built, leased, and it has a property manager in place. That is the turnkey experience. So just as a quick recap, guys, in 10 steps, you can go through the turnkey process. Step 1, you're brand new. It's time to have a conversation. Step 2, you've scheduled your appointment. After that appointment, if this is a good fit, you're going to be introduced to the lenders. Step 3, you got a pre-approval from the lenders. Step 4 is identifying property and putting it under contract. Step 5 is signing said contract or purchase agreement that is contingent upon inspection and appraisal. Step 6 is we get the green light from the local team that the rehab has been completed or this property is ready for inspection. 7 is the inspection itself and getting the report back, going through the punch list, providing that to the local team to have those issues addressed. Step 8 is the appraisal. And again, dealing with that. If it comes in at value, fantastic. If it does not, getting on the phone with you and discussing options. Step 9, we've made it through all of this. We're set to close. That's when you're usually getting your final documentation, introduction to the property manager, and getting final disclosures. And then finally, step 10, we have closed the deal. Thank you very much for your time today. I hope this was educational for you, get a clearer picture of what's going on. We like to get this done within 30 to 45 days, but sometimes lenders have a different idea, regardless of the time frames. Working with Rent to Retirement, working with your investment strategist, we're here to make sure that you're staying on track, you're being notified appropriately, and we're guiding you through these steps so that you can have a seamless transition from being a brand new investor to a current turnkey property owner. Thanks, have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give us a big thumbs up. Thanks.